Well, ladies and gentlemen, at its 7,782nd meeting held in private on October 6, 2016, the Security Council considered the question of the recommendation for the appointment of the Secretary General of the United Nations. The Security Council adopted by acclamation the following resolution. The Security Council, having considered the question of the recommendation for the appointment of the Secretary General of the United Nations, recommends to the General Assembly that Mr. Antonio Guterres be appointed Secretary General of the United Nations for a term of office from January 1, 2017 to December 31, 2021. Thank you very much. What questions can there be? Please, sir.
Thank you, Ambassador, for this briefing. What would you say to the millions of women who have been expecting a woman to be Secretary General and who are disappointed today?
Well, I would say that we have had a very fair process. We encouraged the presentation of women as candidates. We had 50% of the candidates were women from the outset to the last straw poll. But ultimately, I think there was a general agreement among members of the Security Council and beyond that the most important thing is to have the best candidate available. And it so happened that the best candidate available turned out to be Mr. Antonio Guterres.
Ambassador, thank you. This unity of the Council, do you think that the acclamation for Mr. Guterres will have an impact on your deep differences on Syria, on Ukraine, on other issues? And are you cooperating now better with your colleagues, Samantha Power and the others?
I hope it does. Of course, I cannot stretch it too much. I cannot say that after this really very important show of unity in the Council, all the differences will become less dramatic than they are. But let me tell you, we are continuing our discussions, our consultations on even the most difficult issues. And of course, the same thing is happening through our capital, so the work is going to continue. But I think most importantly, this sign of unity, which I hope is going to be translated to the General Assembly, shows that Mr. Guterres, the next 5 years, can rely on very strong support of the Security Council and of the membership of the United Nations, please.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Do you think it's going to be a woman who will take the position of Deputy Secretary General? Should it be one? And does it matter if she is or he is from East European? And the second question is that did Russia get to be what it wanted, which is the Department of Political Affairs?
Well, first of all, it's for Mr. Guterres to decide who he is going to appoint to senior positions. And in the course, to your second question, in the course of those discussions we had with various candidates, including Mr. Guterres, we did express our interest of being better represented in the senior echelons of the Secretariat. And it's no secret. We have been public about it for quite a while. But there were no under-the-table deals. There were no direct question asked, no direct promises given. So I think, frankly, Russia, having found itself in a rather difficult position, being in Eastern Europe and being committed to our Eastern European colleagues, Eastern European candidates, I think we heard a lot of appreciation from all the candidates of being very straightforward in our attitude. From the outset, we said, yes, we do believe that it is the time of Eastern European Regional Group to present a candidate for the Secretary General. We would very much like to see a woman, but at the same time, we have to respect the fact that there are other strong candidates, and depending on the circumstances, we made no promises of sort of blocking everybody who is not coming from Eastern Europe. And we said it very clearly to people in Eastern Europe and people outside of Eastern Europe. And let me tell you, we heard a lot of appreciation for that straightforward and honest position of the Russian Federation.
Ambassador, for those who are now just getting to know Mr. Guterres and aren't familiar with his work at the UN and before in Portugal, can you say what were some of the strongest qualities that impressed the Security Council to nominate him?
Well, first of all, I think he has many strong qualities. Other candidates have also had many strong qualities, but I think I sensed in our conversations with various members of the Security Council and various members of the United Nations, first of all, has great United Nations credentials, having been High Commissioner for Refugees for 10 years, I think, And being a High Commissioner for Refugees means traveling the world and seeing some of the most gruesome conflicts we have to deal with. And then, of course, he is a high-level politician. He has been the prime minister of his country, and he is a person who talks to everybody, listens to everybody, speaks his mind. Very outgoing, I think, open person. So I think it was a great choice, and I'm glad that we rallied around Mr. Guterres.
Thank you. Ambassador, yesterday, on another issue, yesterday you had a meeting with the Iraqi ambassador, and they asked for a Security Council meeting about Turkish military presence in Iraq. Will there be a meeting about that? And what is your position about this on your national capacity?
They drew the attention to a certain situation, and they drew the attention of the Security Council to that situation, and I informed the members of the Security Council about this conversation. But what is going to happen after that, I cannot tell you now anything. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.